Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for another circuit guide here on the channel. This one's a little bit different. You may be wondering why it's come out a little bit early, and I'll tell you why. Well, week 3 of the GR86 Cup, the fixed D-Class series, is next week, which is this track, Lime Rock GP. But week 2 of the SimLab Production Car Challenge, which also features the Toyota, is also at the same circuit. So I'll release it a little bit early for those that race in SimLab. Of course, using the baseline setup as usual, but with the SimLab settings, because this lap that you're about to see was set during qualifying of the SimLab Production Car Challenge. Same format as before, breakdown lap followed by a full speed uninterrupted lap followed by an off-board lap, and let's see if we can help you guys find some time around this short and very old circuit on the game. There's actually only 2.5 braking zones, so let's get started with picking apart Lime Rock. You can see we qualified third in the top split with a 58.8. There's a couple of guys that have a little bit of extra time than me, but let's see if I can help you guys find some of that time. The first braking zone is the number 2 board on the left-hand side. We're going to go from 5th down to 3rd initially. You need to be careful of the rear end of the car here. Look, you see it wanting to step out, feathering the throttle, holding it tight all the way through here, and then about mid-corner I downshift to 2nd and start accelerating out to the left. Get over to the right-hand side. This is the half braking zone I was telling you about. As we start turning in 3rd gear, we just press about 20% of the brake to get the nose in, down to 2nd gear at the halfway point again, with our main aim to be on the left-hand side of the circuit. We're now full speed all the way through, up into 3rd, into this right-hander. You can see we had a little bit of a confidence lift to get the nose in, but if you get the line right, you should be able to do that flat out. Over onto the left-hand side now. The braking zone for the chicane is this tree on the left-hand side. You're going to be hard on the brakes from 4th down into 2nd gear. I tried 1st gear a few times, but you actually lose a little bit of time, so it's easier if you can carry the speed through enough to keep that first green rev light on in 2nd gear. Avoid those orange sausage curbs at all times. No brakes for these 2 corners, just a slight lift if you feel confidence to. 3rd gear for that first one, and you're going to be in 4th for this 2nd one. Again, just nice and wide out into the entry, into the apex, and then come nice and wide out again. Be careful of the grass on the exit, and you'll go up into 5th as you exit that corner, and across the line for a 58.8. Let's go through that again, full speed, uninterrupted. It's number 2 board on the left, hard on the brakes, down to 3rd, watch the rear end, hold it tight to the right-hand side, feathering the throttle all the way through, down to 2nd halfway, and then start accelerating out to the left-hand side, up into 3rd on the exit. Get over to the right, start turning in, lift off, slight brake to get the nose in, down into 2nd, hold it tight to the left, and then it should open up this right-hander, so keep that throttle pinned and carry that speed. If you see a slight lift on that throttle, it's just because I want to get the nose in a little bit more. Tree on the left, hard on the brakes, down to 2nd. Use the curb to open up the corner a little bit more. Turn into that first orange sausage curb, and then the rest of it should be easy. It's flat out all the way through, left, right, left. Over to the left-hand side now. Now you will watch me again in 3rd gear. I'm going to just slightly lift. It's about 30% lift there. And try and avoid that curb if you can. You should be able to do that corner flat out once your tyres are warm. And then into this one again, keeping it on that high rev range. Just there was a double lift there. That's definitely not the way. Just 1 lift to get the nose in. If you do 2 like I just did, then you're losing a little bit of time. Definitely didn't lose 4 temps though. So those guys on pole position definitely finding something that I could not around here at Lime Rock. Hopefully that's helped you though. As usual, I'm going to leave you with this off-board lap. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. In fact, I said I was going to add on a little bit about overtaking. Now, there's not many overtaking opportunities around here in this car for both SimLab and the GR86. The main one is obviously turn 1. This car seems to have an advantage on the other cars around the final 2 corners in the SimLab Production Car Challenge. So realistically, if you have a little bit of patience and just lift off a little bit, sacrifice a bit of speed in those final 2 corners, and make sure you get the run out of the final turn to pass the other classes on the straight into turn 1. Turn 2 and 3 is pretty much single lane. It can be done, but it's risky, and the chicane is also risky, as you're both going to be losing a lot of time if you go through it side by side. So realistically, if you're racing this Toyota in multi-class, I would wait for this point here and get it done on the main straight down towards turn 1. It's probably going to be similar in the GR86 Cup. As usual, that's pretty much it from me. If I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace!